I remember when I was doing the Sinai withdrawal at the time, our major concern was that the Sinai will be demilitarized, no Egyptian army in it. What did we say? Jokingly, we said, we want Sinai left only with Bedouins and camels. Gee, you know, if I was then smart enough as I am today, I'd say, no, leave the Bedouins and the camels. You know, take the Bedouins and the camels out, leave the army in.
وعبد الفتاح السيسي لما قال هيدا عن أكتوبر هو لم يهدد إسرائيل. السيسي صهيوني أكثر مني.
You've had the chance to meet with the defense minister, right? Tell us a little bit about that meeting.
One of the things that impressed me a good deal about that meeting with the defense minister is that he was very eloquent in describing the role of the average soldier who is committed to the state of Israel. This to me is very important.
As far as I understand, we allow the Egyptian army to introduce more and deploy more and more forces into Sinai as much as they need in order to sustain, to contain the Bedouins, the jihadists, the terror operations in Sinai.
I'd like also to welcome Mr. Tzvi Mazel, who is a former Israeli ambassador to Egypt and a senior researcher at the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs. Welcome. Yeah. Ambassador Mazel, the last sentence to you about Israeli-Egyptian interests.
Yes.
One sentence.
Two, Israel and Egypt are in the same bed. Two, Israel and Egypt are in the same bed.
Egypt. Here, there is no two schools of thoughts in Israel. Only one school of thought. The change in Egypt in the last summer was positive. We see it as the continuation of the Tahrir Square revolution that was hijacked by the Muslim Brotherhood and was on its way to become an Islamic extreme radical regime, very much like Iran. Morsi never mentioned the name of Israel. He called us pigs and monkeys. Never met any Israeli delegation. And we thought that Egypt went to the wrong direction. There is a roadmap. We have to push them to go along the roadmap that will bring back democracy to Egypt. But we are sleeping better at night when the Muslim Brotherhood is not holding the power in Egypt and some other people are doing it.
The relationship that we've had and the assistance and the sales that we've had with the Egyptian military.
Thank you. It goes, my own personal experience with it goes back to when I commanded CENTCOM in 2008. And I can tell you that they have, they're a very strong partner of the United States, a very key nation in the region. As you put it yourself, we enjoy preferential passage in the Suez, dynamic overflight. They've committed to the Camp David Accords. The Israeli military considers the Egyptian military a strong partner. And so in my personal experience, which goes back now about 5 years, they are worth the investment.
In Egypt, the new government is being much tougher on the border in terms of supplying Hamas.
Yeah. You know, I don't think that we are really a major player in this. It's a dramatic development for the Egyptian people, for the whole Middle East, the Arab peoples. Israel is not a central focal point of this. Israel...
you have the border with Gaza, and this government has been better than Morsi's government. Right?
I think that the whole world should support Sisi. I believe that
the new Egyptian
I think that you have to support him. If we support him, it probably will embarrass him. It probably won't help him. But Sisi and the liberals, Baradei and others, they deserve the support of the free world. To who else they can turn?
On the day Mohamed Morsi was elected president, Prime Minister Netanyahu sent him a letter of congratulation, expecting, I assume, a polite response. This did not happen. And until this very day, to the best of my knowledge, there has been no physical contact between the political levels of Israel and Egypt.
The way that I see it, with my own eyes, being in touch with various governments, you see a shift because Central Arab governments right now in the Middle East are, sure, they want to see a solution to the Palestinian problem. They do, as we do. But their primary preoccupation is with two threats. One, the arming of Iran with nuclear weapons. Many of them are just as concerned about it as we are. And second, they're concerned with the spread of the Muslim Brotherhood. We share those twin concerns. And so these governments do not see Israel as their enemy, but in many ways as their, if not ally, then their partner in holding back these dual threats.